You wake up early, you push yourself every single day, you hustle, you grind, you sacrifice sleep, comfort, even your social life. Still, no results, no recognition, no progress, no breakthrough, just silence. You begin to wonder, am I doing something wrong? Am I not good enough? Why is everyone else moving forward while I'm stuck in the same place? It's painful. You're trying harder than ever, but the world doesn't seem to care. No one's clapping for you. No one's checking up on you. And worst of all, you don't even know if this effort is leading anywhere. If this is what you're feeling, know this: you're not alone. Every successful person has walked through this invisible tunnel, the phase where nothing seems to happen, even when you're doing everything right. But here's the thing. This phase, this painful, frustrating, silent phase, it's not the end of the road. It's the beginning of something greater. You see, the results you're chasing, they don't come instantly. Growth, real, meaningful, life-changing growth, happens silently, like seeds buried deep in the soil. No one sees them for days, maybe even weeks, but underneath the surface, they're breaking, shifting, growing, preparing to rise. You're in that soil right now, and the fact that you're still pushing, still showing up, still working, that's a sign of strength most people will never have. This isn't a sign to quit. This is the moment you lean in deeper, because you're not just working hard, you're becoming unshakable. And if you stay with me for the next few minutes, I'll show you how to turn this phase into fuel. Using timeless Stoic wisdom, you'll learn why your efforts aren't wasted, and why success is closer than you think. But first, take a deep breath. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Now let's figure out what to do next. We're living in a time where hustle is worshipped. Social media is full of people saying things like, sleep is for the weak. Grind now, shine later. If you're not working 18 hours a day, you're lazy. And we fall for it. We push ourselves harder. We keep running, chasing, sacrificing, believing that hard work alone is the golden ticket to success. But here's the harsh truth. Hard work is not always enough. You can give everything you have and still not see results. Not because you're lazy, not because you're not smart, but because in today's world, effort without direction is like rowing a boat with no compass. We're told to just keep going, but no one tells us where we're going, or worse, if we're even going the right way. And this is where most people get stuck. They confuse movement with progress. They think being busy means being productive. But let me ask you this honestly, are you building something with every step you're taking? Or are you just running in circles hoping it leads somewhere? It's easy to fall into the busy trap. You keep working, you keep grinding, but deep inside you're empty, exhausted, burnt out, because the reality is you're hustling without clarity. And that's a recipe for frustration. Now let's talk about another brutal truth. In this digital age, talent and hard work alone don't guarantee results. Visibility matters, strategy matters, timing, consistency, mental strength, all play a role. And if you ignore these, you'll keep hustling in the dark, hoping something magically changes. But here's where Stoicism enters the scene. The Stoics never chased blind hustle. They didn't measure their life by noise or attention or how busy they looked. They believed in intentional action. They asked themselves daily, am I doing what actually matters? Seneca once said, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Think about that. What if the problem isn't that your hard work is failing, but that it's aimed in the wrong direction? The modern hustle culture glorifies being tired, overwhelmed, and constantly on the go. But Stoicism teaches us to pause, to think, to reflect, to ask, is this taking me closer to who I want to become? Because if it's not, then what are you really hustling for? In the next section, we'll break down why hard work alone isn't enough and how to shift from mindless hustle to meaningful effort, the Stoic way. But for now, just remember this. You're not a machine. You don't need to just keep grinding. You need to move with purpose. We've all been told the same thing. If you just work hard, success will come. But if that were true, then why are so many of the hardest working people still broke, still struggling, still invisible? Let's face it, hard work is overrated. When it's not aligned, you can work 14 hours a day, but if your efforts are scattered, unclear, or focused on the wrong things, you'll burn out long before you break through. It's like digging a hole with all your energy, only to realize later you were digging in the wrong place the whole time. And here's the part most people won't tell you. Hard work is just one piece of the puzzle. Without strategy, without direction, without emotional clarity, it becomes noise. Think about it like this. Would you rather be a person swinging wildly with all their strength, or the one who takes one calm, focused shot and hits the target? Stoicism teaches us that effort must be guided by reason, by logos, the Stoic idea of clear thinking, order, and wisdom. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and one of the greatest Stoic minds, said, "Don't waste the rest of your life worrying about other people or reacting without purpose." Other words, stop chasing for the sake of chasing. Don't hustle because Instagram says you should. Hustle because you're solving the right problems in the right way, for the right reasons. Let's be real. Some people are working hard in jobs they hate. Some are building dreams that don't even belong to them. Some are trying to prove their worth through their output, hoping that the world will finally say, "You're enough." But the Stoics had a better formula. Detach from results. Focus on right action. Let the outcome come on its own time. That's powerful, because it shifts your mindset from "I need results" to "feel successful" to "if I live with discipline, intention, and virtue, I am already winning." Look, I'm not saying stop working hard. I'm saying start working smart. Every drop of energy you have is precious. So stop pouring it into dead ends. Stop chasing every trend. Stop running blindly, hoping something sticks. Instead, ask yourself the Stoic question. Is this in my control? Is this meaningful? Is this aligned with my purpose? If the answer is yes, keep going with everything you've got. If the answer is no, have the courage to pivot. Because hard work matters, but only when it's aimed like a laser, not a flashlight. Coming up next, we'll explore what Stoicism really teaches about effort and results, and how to reclaim your focus through timeless wisdom. Stay with me, we're just getting started. In the world we live in today, results are everything. How much did you earn? How many followers do you have? How fast did you grow? But the ancient Stoics, they flipped the script. They taught that your true power lies not in results, but in effort, intention, and virtue. Let's unpack that. Stoicism is built on one core principle. Control what you can. Let go of what you can't. This idea, simple as it sounds, is life-changing, because most of our pain, frustration, and burnout comes from this one mistake. We focus more on outcomes than actions. We obsess over whether the business will succeed, whether the video will go viral, whether people will notice our work. But here's the Stoic truth. You don't control the outcome. You only control the process. Epictetus, a former slave-turned-philosopher, once said, "Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens." That means your job is to show up, to do the work, to speak your truth, to live with virtue, courage, discipline, wisdom, justice. But the results, they are never fully in your hands. Think about it. A farmer can till the soil, plant the seeds, and water the land, but he can't control the weather. He can't guarantee the harvest. What he can control is showing up with full effort every single day. That's Stoicism. It's not about giving up on goals. It's about not tying your self-worth to whether you hit them or not. Imagine this shift. Instead of waking up every day thinking, will this finally work? You start asking, am I living today with discipline and purpose, no matter the result? That mindset? It makes you unstoppable, because results become a bonus, not the source of your identity. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of Rome, who faced wars, betrayal, illness, and pressure most of us can't imagine, wrote this in his journal. Do not waste what remains of your life in speculating about your neighbors, unless with a view to some mutual benefit. Be concerned only with what you do. In modern words, stop obsessing over external metrics. Focus on your craft, your discipline, your internal growth. Let me ask you something. What if your hard work is already paying off, just not in the way you expect? What if it's building your patience, sharpening your character, making you mentally unbreakable? That's success too. Only difference is, the world doesn't clap for it, but Stoicism teaches you to clap for yourself, to honor the invisible wins, the quiet growth, the days you didn't give up, even when nothing made sense. Here's what the Stoics want you to know. You are not your results. You are your daily actions. You are your choices under pressure. You are your ability to keep going without applause, because in the end, life is unpredictable. The market changes, the audience shifts, people come and go, but your character, that's yours forever. So if you're working hard and seeing no results, pause. Don't quit. Don't panic. Ask yourself, am I living with integrity today? Did I give my best effort? Did I show up despite fear, doubt, or failure? If the answer is yes, you're doing more than most ever will, and the Stoics would say, that alone makes you successful. Next up, we'll dig deeper into self-awareness and ask the uncomfortable but powerful question, are you even doing the right work? Let's keep going. You're on the path, and the Stoics are walking with you. Here's a tough question. What if the reason you're not seeing results isn't because you're not working hard, but because you're working hard on the wrong thing? That's where most people mess up. They don't lack hustle, they lack clarity, they confuse movement with progress, they stay busy to avoid facing the truth. And the truth is this, you could be pouring your energy into something that was never meant to work long term. That's not failure, that's a wake-up call. And this is where Stoicism becomes your greatest ally. The Stoics were obsessed with self-awareness. They didn't just live, they constantly examined how they were living. Marcus Aurelius wrote every day in his journal, not to show off, but to check himself, to ask the question, am I doing what truly matters, or just what feels urgent? Most of us don't ask that. We follow the crowd. We chase trends. We do what we think will get us success fast, even if it's killing our peace slowly, and then we wonder why we're exhausted, why we feel stuck, why we're doing everything right but still going nowhere. Let me be real with you. You can be working 12 hours a day on content, but if it's the wrong niche, wrong message, or wrong audience, you'll stay invisible. You can be launching business after business, but if none of them align with your strengths or values, you'll burn out. So stop, breathe. Ask yourself the hard but honest questions. Am I doing this because it excites my soul, or just because I saw someone else succeed at it? Am I solving a real problem, or just copying what's trending? Am I building something I believe in, or just trying to please the algorithm? Stoicism teaches us this powerful truth. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Seneca, wasting time doesn't always look like laziness. Sometimes it looks like grinding 24/7 on the wrong path. So here's your challenge. Be brave enough to step back, to look at the bigger picture, to admit when something's not working, and pivot. That's not weakness, that's wisdom. And it's hard, because your ego wants to say, I've come this far, I can't quit now. But the Stoics would tell you, let go of your ego. Let go of sunk cost. Let go of attachment. Hold on only to what is true, useful, and aligned. Remember, self-awareness is not about beating yourself up. It's about getting real so you can get better. So ask yourself again, am I doing the right work or just working hard to avoid discomfort? Because once you face the truth, you free yourself to take the right kind of action. And that, Gulshan Bai, is how transformation begins. Let me ask you something real. What if you're growing right now and just can't see it yet? We live in a world obsessed with fast success, quick wins, instant results. But real growth, real transformation, it's invisible for a while. It happens quietly, in the dark, when no one is watching, like a seed buried under soil. For weeks, even months, nothing seems to be happening. But deep beneath, the roots are taking hold. The foundation is forming. And then, one day, boom, the plant breaks the surface. That's your journey. You may not see results today. Your numbers might not reflect your effort. Your bank account might not show your value. But if you're showing up, staying disciplined, doing the hard work with integrity, then you're not stuck. You're rooting. And that, my friend, is sacred. The Stoics understood this deeply. They weren't chasing applause. They weren't looking for overnight success. They were building inner strength day by day, even if the world never noticed. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Don't be ashamed to need help. Like a soldier storming a wall, you have a mission to accomplish. If you've been wounded and you need a comrade to pull you up, so what?" This wasn't just about battle. It was about life, about being in the middle of struggle and not giving up even when progress is invisible. Let me be honest with you, the phase you're in right now, where nothing seems to work, where every step feels like you're dragging weights, that's not failure, that's the test. The grind before the growth, and you have two choices here. You can quit. Say, "It's not working," and walk away right before the breakthrough. Or you can zoom out, see the big picture, and realize you're in what the Stoics would call the training ground of virtue. Because here's the truth. Patience is progress. Discipline is progress. Showing up when you don't feel like it, that's massive progress. It just doesn't show up on the charts. Not yet, but it shows up in who you're becoming. The most powerful version of you is being built right now. In the silent hours, in the late nights, in the days no one claps for. And that kind of growth, it's not just success, it's unshakable. So next time you feel like quitting, ask yourself, am I really not growing? Or am I just not seeing the results yet? Because sometimes the only thing standing between you and your breakthrough is one more day of patience. Stay grounded, stay present, keep going. Your roots are growing deep. And so, how do you measure success? Followers, subscribers, money, views? That's what the world tells you. But the Stoics had a different scoreboard. They didn't care how things looked. They cared how things felt inside, and more than that, who you were becoming in the process. Let's break this down. According to Stoic philosophy, real progress is measured by your inner growth, not outer achievements. Seneca once wrote, "We should not look at the number of years we've lived, but at how we've lived them." So here's the Stoic way to measure real progress. And failure shows you what doesn't work. Every failed attempt sharpens your aim. It narrows your focus. It removes what's unnecessary. So now you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience. Failure builds emotional strength. It hurts, yes, but each time you rise, you build resilience. You become unshakable. That's a flex no motivational quote can give you. Failure separates the curious from the committed. Anyone can show up when it's easy. Only the serious ones stay when it's brutal. If you're still here, still standing, still pushing forward, you've already won. Because most people quit before the miracle. So next time you fall, don't say, "Why me?" Say, "What is this trying to teach me?" You'll realize every failure carries a lesson, a redirection, a transformation. And when you reframe it that way, failure becomes the foundation of your greatness. So don't run from it. Lean into it. Let it forge the strongest version of you. Because this This isn't the end, it's just where the real journey begins. All right, my friend, here's your moment. You've heard the message. You've reflected on the Stoic wisdom. You've learned how failure is just the beginning, how success is built from within, and how to reframe every setback as fuel for your rise. Now, what will you do with it? Don't just let this information sit in your mind. It's time to take action. Take the first step, no matter how small. Reframe your failures. Look at your struggles and say, this isn't stopping me, this is building me. And if you feel like you've been grinding away without results, here's what I want you to do next. Subscribe to this channel. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Why? Because this isn't a one-time message, it's a journey. And I'll be here with you every step of the way, helping you grow. Awesome. Share your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what failure you're reframing right now. What's the one lesson you've learned from your struggles? Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. Take action today, even if it's just one small thing, one small step toward your goal. Because action is the only way you'll turn knowledge into change. If you're tired of seeing no results, remember this. It's not about how fast you go, it's about how consistent you stay. And as long as you keep moving forward, you're winning. So get out there, keep going, and as always, stay stoic.